Hello everyone, welcome. Today I'll be showing you how to do this combo that is full of aerials that flow into each other to help you on your journey to get to the Airbender Balisong flow. I'll be covering the steps to do this combo, and there will be slow-mos and variations too. You can check the description for timestamps to help you navigate. So I got a comment asking to show the Helix aerial at the end of the behind the 8 ball, which the names are confusing to me, but I'm hoping that that's the correct one. And it just so happened that I was working on a combo with lots of aerials in it, so here you go. You can start this combo off with just the regular behind the 8 ball if you would like, or you can go for the fancier route, which looks like this. So I'm not going to explain the behind the 8 ball, I'm assuming that you already know it, but I'll explain the other way. So how you're going to do this is you're going to actually start on the bite handle, and you're just going to swing it out, and then kind of like you're going to do an index rollover, except you're going to let go as you throw it. Kind of like that. Okay, so we have that first aerial. And then once you catch it, you're going to catch it in the palm of your hand. I like to put my middle finger over the pivot area and then wrap my thumb around to throw it into that thumb rollover, just like the behind the 8 ball. And also you're going to do a wrist pass like the behind the 8 ball. And I find it helps when you do the wrist pass to really go down, so that way you'll be coming back up for the throw and it'll be very natural. And so that throw is going to just look like this. And so that's just a simple handle switch aerial that you would do at the end of the behind the 8 ball. Now, once you're going to do that, you're going to do basically the same throwing motion. So you're going to catch it, going down and throwing it up. But instead of catching the other handle, what you're going to be doing is catching the same handle that you threw. And you're also catching it in this grip. So that's going to look like this. You're going to want to be careful when you're throwing this second aerial, as if you catch it too early, like that, you're going to hit the blade. So be careful. Okay, so when you catch it in this position, the next step you're going to want to do, so you go from here, you're going to catch it, and then in one movement, drop down and come over like that. As you notice, my fingers also, they changed grip from like this to that. So if you want to catch it like a hammer grip and then switch it to your fingers, you can, or you could try and catch it more in your fingers like this and then switch it over. But either way, it's pretty easy to do that switch. The next aerial, you're going to switch it from just the safe handle, throw it up to the bite handle. So yeah, you're going to want to make sure you just lift your hand just ever so slightly, which will make it easier to do that transfer. So starting from the beginning, it'll look like this. So once you get into this position, once again, you're going to do another wrist pass, going down in that scooping motion and coming back up to throw it. So it's going to be looking like this. And so this time when you're going to throw it, the knife is going to basically do a full 360 degrees, and you're going to catch it overhanded on the safe handle. So that looks like this. When I first tried this one out, I was definitely throwing it way over here. I would say that's fine. If that's what comes natural to you, it might be a little easier to kind of reach for it than have it right in front of you, which normally I would say for tricks, you want to learn the trick, how it's supposed to be done so you don't have to fix things later. But it was pretty easy to adjust the throw once I got it consistent from over here to bring it in closer. I do think it looks nice if you have it nice and controlled right in front of you. Another thing to note is when I first tried this throw, is I actually got it closed like that. So if you do end up catching both handles, that means that you caught it a little bit too soon. So what I did is I told myself, okay, this next throw, I'm going to go for the catch, but then force myself to pause and then catch it. And having just that beat before you catch it, that really helped me. And I was honestly very surprised that I caught it the first time, because I thought the knife was going to drop, because it's like that instinct of it's falling, I gotta catch it. So I found that, yeah, forcing yourself to pause and then go for the catch in this instance is very helpful. Okay, so this is everything we have so far. Okay, so this next step is gonna follow that trend where we have a catch and then we're swinging it around kind of like in a wrist pass movement to throw it. Except this one's a little bit different because we're not throwing another horizontal aerial. This would be the only more vertical aerial. And we're gonna throw it into a scissor. You're gonna throw it up and then catch it like that. So just a short recap from this position. You can do that overhand throw right into a scissor like that. Okay, so once you've got the scissor, the next movement you're gonna go to is into a chaplain. But the way that it works is you have really two options, and I find myself kind of going back and forth. You can either just catch the scissor and follow the momentum, swinging it up and then going down into the chaplain like that. Or sometimes I'll catch it and I'll do this little flourish around my middle finger and then I'll go into the chaplain like that. So once you find yourself in this position, after doing the chaplain, stopping it with your middle finger, and then you're going to kind of rotate your hand, swing it out, and insert your thumb, and then wrap it around, and you're going to bring it over to do a thumb rollover, like that. And then you're going to go into a wrist pass. So to recap from the scissor, you're going to catch it from like in the scissor, flourish or not, bring it up into a chaplain, rotate your hand, insert your thumb rollover, and wrist pass. Okay, so now you're here, you've done the wrist pass, and this is going to be the final aerial, and this is, once again, similar to all the other ones. You're doing that wrist pass movement, and you're lifting your hand up, and then you're going to throw the knife, which looks like this. And so just a quick tip, if you do not know how to do that type of catch yet, my recommendation is learn just the standard aerial ice pick first. I would say this one's easier to learn, and part of that might be because you can just, as you throw it, you can let the handles kind of fall into your hand because you angle it back. And once you get that down, then you can throw it more vertically like that. And you can even go even a little bit more extreme once you have that down and kind of reach out and grab it down at an angle. Then once you have that, you can start rotating the throw. So you can throw it a little bit at an angle, then a little bit more, and then soon you'll be getting it down horizontally. Okay, now that you've learned the combo, I'm going to cover some variations, and you definitely want to stay tuned until the last one. That's definitely my favorite. I show you how you can keep the combo going instead of just stopping it. So this first variation I'm going to show you is how to do the combo without the scissor. The scissor is definitely the hardest aerial to do. I'm still working on getting it clean and consistent. But we're going to take it from where you do the overhand aerial. Instead of bringing it down to the wrist pass and throwing it into the scissor, you're going to grab it and kind of continue the momentum out and lift up your index finger and insert it between the handles, and then you're just going to go into a regular helix, ending in that helix aerial. And now seeing that in context from this position, this is what it will look like without the scissor. Okay, so the next variation has to do with the overhand catch. And when I was talking about it in the breakdown, I mentioned how when I first did it, I would catch the knife fully open. If you happen to do that, it's a great position to go into a tweak fan because you're naturally going to catch it at the perfect angle to where you'll throw it to get that momentum. Okay, so this next variation is actually a few of them. There's multiple points of looping in this combo. So what I mean by that, there's multiple aerials that you can just do over and over again. Now for the first two, they're the handle switch aerials. If you want to keep the combo the same, you have to make sure that you always do an odd number of them. So for example, let's say you start with just the regular behind the 8-ball. You go into that first handle switch aerial, you can do like 3 of those and then continue the combo. And that second one is the overhand. You can also loop that one, but you have to make sure you do an odd number to continue the combo on. If you do want to do an even number, so if you do want to do, say 2 of them, you could do 1 and then 2, but then you could throw a giraffe instead of a regular scissor and end the combo that way instead. And the last place you could loop it would be with the scissors. You could do as many scissors as you can in a row. I can't really do that many, but feel free to throw those in. Okay, so now for the last variation, and this one's my favorite. Essentially, you can do the entire combo the exact same way, except for that last helix aerial catch where you catch the handles open. What you can do instead is you can just simply catch one of the handles and you can continue the combo from there like we already did and learned. Or if you want, you can just use that as a way to continue the combo however you want and just keep the flow going. So in the same way, if for the overhand catch, you find yourself catching both of the handles, that means you're catching it too soon and you just need to wait a beat and then you can catch the single handle. The same thing applies to where if you're used to catching both handles, if you just wait a beat, I think you'll find it'll be actually pretty easy to catch just a single handle. Also, I think about when I'm going for this catch, I'm kind of going at a 45-degree angle down and like scooping up the bite handle and the safe handle. But for just the single handle catch, I think about more so I'm coming down and just grabbing that one handle. But yeah, I hope you learned that variation, as it's an easy way to keep the flow going. And if you want to check out this combo that I'm doing next, I have a tutorial for it here because it flows really nicely into the end of that combo.